welcome back to the first set, and this is part 1 of your sample sure questions for the upcoming TCS NQT Ninja Digital for 2023 upcoming month, that is in the month of August. You have your examination. You can always prepare these sample sure questions, which you can always expect a similar type of question in your examination. I hope you find these a bit useful, starting with question number 1. In a particular language, if A is equivalent to 0, B is equivalent to 1, C is equivalent to 2, and it continues 1 by 1, 1, 1, 1, it goes up to Z being equal to 25. Then we have a question of what is the value of 1 plus 1 in the form of alphabets only. We need to add these values. That is what is expected of us. Now, from here, we can easily say that E would be equal to 4, because D is equal to 3, E would be equal to 4. So 4 plus 4, if you write this as 4 plus 4, you get this value as 8. So in place of 8, I can also write the alphabet as I, because 8 would be equivalent to I. So here would be I. The last value or the last alphabet of this solution must be I, and we don't have I in option D, so I'll cut it out or I'll take it out because that cannot be my answer. Now, second case, n plus n. n plus n is simply 13 plus 13. In this case, n is 13. Now we get this as 26. Do we have the representation for 26? No, we have it till 25 starting from 0. So this basically is a question from base being 26, and we are habituated with questions of base being 10, that is the decimal number system. So for these type of question, we are always supposed to do the conversion of base 26 into the base 10. So what we can have here, the process is simple. You divide the value with the base, that is 26, and you focus on quotient and remainder in each case, and you continue this till you have the quotient as 0. So quotient here would be 1 and the remainder is 0. Now you continue with 1. 1 divided by 26, the quotient becomes 0, so we stop here and the remainder is 1. Now what is our equivalent conversion? 26 to the base 10 is equivalent to 10 to the base 26. 1 0 is what we have. Okay. So we can write this as not 26, n plus n is 1 0. So we write here 0 and we put 1 as carried, 1 has to be carried forward. What is equivalent to 0? We cannot write the numbers, we have to write in form of alphabets only. So we'll write here A. Now 1 is being carried forward. So the last solution would be O. This is O. O means MNOP, so it is 14 plus 1 that is carried forward. So it is 29. Again, we need to convert 29. 29 divided by 26, the quotient is 1, the remainder is 0. The remainder is not 0, remainder is 3. Not divisible. Now, again, 1 divided by 26, the quotient is 0 and the remainder is 1. We stop as soon as we get the quotient being 0. We have the quotient as 0. So now the solution becomes 1, 3. So if you add this, this is not 29 in terms of these value. This is basically 13. So 13, 3 is basically D and 1 is basically B. We'll have to put here B, D, A, I. That is right there in option A, and that is how you can mark these questions. I hope this helps. Find the number of perfect squares in the given series. So the series starts from 2013 and each time it is incremented with 7. So the series is somewhat 2013 plus 7k. Right? Anytime if you see any of the terms, it is simply, if you look at the first term, it is 2103, then you have 7 into 1 7 into 2 the third term, and it will continue till 2300. Now we have hint as 42 square, which is 1936. So the next one is what we would be focusing on: 45 square, 46 square, 47 square, 48 square. Let's see, let's be done with these. Now any number ending with that. Now we are talking about the square root, and I'll give you a brief shortcut to solve squares. It's ending in 5, right? It's ending in 5. So simply write 2 5. Then what is this? 4. Add 1. You get 5. 5 into 4. We get 20. And that is my square of 45. 2025. Now tell me, will 2025 be present in this series? The easiest way to check, we can easily check it is not falling, but the easiest way to check is 2025 minus 2013. We get this as 12. This value must be in the form of 7k. If it is not, then 2025 is not a part of the series. Simple. Since it is not in the form of 12, is not in the form of 7k, so we can say 45 will not be part of this series. Now from 46 onwards, the rule changes a bit. To find the square, what we can do? Tell me, how much is 46 lesser than 50? 46 is 4 less than 50. What is 4 square? 16. So the last two digits are 16. Now tell me, how much is 46 greater than 25? So it is actually 21. So we have 46 square as 2116. Now quickly let's be done with 47 square. 47 is how much lesser than 50? It is 3 less. Take the square, which is 9. So write 09. Now how much is it greater than 25? It is 22 greater. So write 2209. Similarly, let's be done with 48 square. 48 is how much lesser than 50? 2 lesser. So 2 square is 04. And how much is this greater than 25? It is 23. So 2304 is out of our range. So it automatically gets cancelled. Now we just need to check whether 46 square or 47 square both are in the range, or if any of them are in this range. What we can do, I've told you, 2116 minus 2013, we get 103. We have to check whether 103 is a multiple of 7 or not. So if you divide this by 7, you get 33. It is not. So again, we have to cross this. Let's start with the last one. 2209 minus 2013, we get 6. Then we have 10 minus 1, we get 9, and 196. So 196, let's see whether it is in the form of 7k or not. Divide this by 7. So you get 14. So you have 556 is a multiple. So yes, 196 is in the form of 7k, or it's a multiple of 7. Therefore, 2209 will be a part of this series. So how many perfect squares are given in the given series range? Only one. What is that perfect square? That is 47. And that is how you can mark these questions. These are certain shortcuts that you can always use to find the squares. Shortcut method to find squares. I hope this helps. Take care. Bye-bye. Keep preparing, keep learning. What is in the 200 position of the given series? And if you look at these series very carefully, you will see 4 is present in the first term 1 time. 4 is present in the second term 2 times. And similarly in the third term 3 times, and the fourth term 4 times. And then additionally, you have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That is extra 3 terms. Alright. So if we want to calculate the number of terms till any given term, we can use the formula as n into n plus 1 upon 2. But we need to modify this formula a bit and write or add 3n to this. You can always check this formula. Suppose you put, let's say if you want to calculate the number of terms in the first term or till the first term. So you write n value as 1, put here 1, you will get this as 3 plus 1 into 2 by 2, you get 3 plus 1, which is 4. And if you look closely, you have 4 terms. So that is how you can always relate. Now, we need to go closer to 200 position first. And one way of doing it is by getting to trial and error method. So let me put n as 15 and see how many terms are contained. If we look at 15 terms of the given series, how many terms are actually we are looking out for, or what will be in different positions. So putting it in the formula of 3n into n plus 1 minus 2, this is 3 into 15 plus 15 into 16 by 2. This is 15 into 3, 45 plus 15 into 8. 15 into 4 is 60. This is 120. It is 165. We are very not much closer to 200. So we can try with n being 16. Let's see what do we have. 3 into 16 plus 16 into 17 by 2. What do we have? 16 3s are 48. Then 17 into 8. 17 into 8 is simply 170 minus 34. We get 136. What do we have here? 4, 8, 1. 184. Now, what do we understand by this 184? That means if we look at 16th term till 16th term, where the first 3 digits would be 1, 2, 3, and then the remaining digits would be 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 16 times 4, we are covering 184. Now, what would be the 185th, 186th and 187th term? That would be simply 1, 2, 3. Now, from 188th term onwards, it would be only 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. And you can see clearly, since we are looking at the 17th term, so it will have 17 times 4, right? And 17 times 4 naturally will take up the 200 position being 4. Suppose this question was, what will be at the 185th position? The answer would have been 1. 186th position, the answer would have been 2. 187th position, the answer would have been 3. 184th position, the answer would have been 4. 200th position, the answer is again 4. I hope you are able to follow this. I've taken some time to explain you the concept here and how to tackle this, but this basic formula must be kept into consideration. This is the formula to calculate the sum of first n natural numbers, and that is given by the formula n into n plus 1 upon 2. Very important formula to tackle questions on these type of series. Very frequently you are asked a question like this, so pay attention to the solution and try to develop the approach to solve these type of questions if it occurs in one of your examination. I hope this helps. Take care. 2, 3, 4, 5. Second term is 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Next term is 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5. So the third term contains 5 3 times. First term contains 5 1 time. And the fourth term contains 5 5 times. And it will continue in this manner. Now it is asking what will be the last two numbers at the 200th digit or the 200th position. You know the drill, right? For all of these questions, you can see it starts from 1, 2, 3, 4. An extra of 2, 3, 4. Each term contains an extra of 2, 3, 4. Therefore, the formula is 3n plus. 3n is for these three values. Then you have n into n plus 1 upon 2. This will give me the number of terms. Let's say if I talk about fourth term of this series. So fourth term will contain how many terms in total or how many digits in total. This can be taken out with the help of this formula. So we'll do trial and error, and let's say if we start with the 16th term, n is equal to 16. Now let's say the number of terms contained till 16, number of terms till the 16th term of the series, number of terms or digits. What do we have? 3 into 16 plus 3 into, sorry, not 3, 16. 16 into 16 plus 1, 17 by 2. Let's solve this quickly. What do we have? 48 plus 17 into 8 is 136. So we have 4, 4, 8, 184. So we have 184 digits till the completion of the 16th digit. Now, just tell me what will be exactly the 16th digit? It will look like 2, 3, 4 and 16 times 5. Do you agree? Now, next we need to go to 200. So we would be starting from 185th, 186th and 187th digit. That would be 2, 3, 4 respectively. From 188th term onwards, 189, 190, it will go up to how many? Since we are looking out for the 17th term, so till 17 times we'll have 5. So naturally 13 more is 200 and we are going up to 17. So last two digits at the 200 position, that means 199th and 200th, that would be 5 and 5. Option D is the correct fit here. You see, if you have solved the previous question, you have understood the concept in the previous question, this is a cakewalk for you. And that is how you develop the concept. Once you have the concept clear, then these questions are not very difficult to tackle. These are somewhere down the line easier to tackle. I hope you are clear with the formula and everything. Let's move forward to the next question. There are equal number of boys and girls in a class. So let's say boys, number of boys, that is equivalent to the number of girls. 12 girls are entered out, twice the boys as girl remain. That means number of boys upon number of girls, 12 are going out, so minus 12. Now we have twice the boys as girls, so 2 by 1. In place of girl, we can always write B. So this becomes B upon B minus 12. This is 2 upon 1. Let's simplify this. So it is B. This is 2B minus 24. Therefore, B is equal to 24. Now what is asked? What was the total number of students in the class? Total number of students is number of boys is equal to number of girls is equal to 24 plus 24, which is 48. Option B is the correct fit here. I hope this helps. BB, CCC, DDD, EEEE. What is the 120th letter? If you look at the sequence, first term contains one term, second term contains two terms, third term contains three, fourth term contains four, fifth term contains 5 terms. So the easier way would be using the formula of sum of first n natural numbers. And that is given by the formula n into n plus 1 upon 2. This gives me the number of terms up to a certain term of the series. Let's say, if I want to calculate the number of terms up to the third term, so I'll write n is equal to 3. Now, put this, so this would be 3 into 4 by 2, which is 6. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 terms till the third term. So I hope this formula is clear to everyone. What we'll do here is we'll try to go as close as 120th term using trial and error. So we can use different values for n. So we can use n as, let's say, 13. Why we have put n as 13? Because we see it starts from the option being MNOP 13, 14, 15, 16. So we started with n being 13. So number of terms would be simply 13 into 14 by 2, which is 13 into 7, 91 terms. We are not very close. Yeah, we are close to 120, but I feel we can move a bit closer to 120. So again, we'll use another value of n. Let's say this time we use 14. So number of terms is 14 into 15 by 2. This is 7. 15 into 7 is 105 terms. Now what do we know by this, or what do we have from this? It means if we look at the 14th term is n. So till 14th term, n would be 14 times. And if we start from A, B, B, C, 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 and we go up to these many terms, we have covered 105 terms. Now, from 106th term onwards, we are starting with n equivalent to 15, and n equivalent to 15 is simply O. Now, O will be contained how many times? O will be contained 15 times. So if we add 15 to this, it would be 120. So exactly 120th term, or any term from 106, 107, 108 going up to 120th term, any of these term is a O. So option C is our correct fit here. Now if I ask you what would be the 121st term, so here we have exhausted 15 and we would be starting with 16. So 121st term would be P. 122nd term would be P. How many times? 16 times. And that is how you can solve these type of questions. I hope this helped. Take care. Bye-bye. Keep practicing. And you can see we have done around 3 questions on these type of sequences. And everywhere we are focusing on the application of this formula. There are 120 males and 100 females in a society. Out of 25% male and 20% are ruler. Okay. So 25% of this value is simply 1/4 of this. So 1/4 of this value would be 30. And 20% is simply 20. 20% of male and 25% of female ruler people passed in the exam. So 20% of 30 passed in exam. PE, passed in exam. 20%. 20% is 1/5. 1/5 of 30 is simply 6 members. And 25% is 1/4. 1/4 of 20 is 5 members. What percentage of, now here is the important part of percentage formulation. What percentage of ruler students? Ruler students means these value. Right? So what is written after of? That becomes my numerator. We have a denominator multiplied with 100. That is the percentage formulation. Whatever is written after of, that becomes the denominator. Ruler people 30 plus 20. Have passed in the exam 6 plus 5 into 100. It is basically 11 upon 50 into 100. 22% is the correct fit here. And you can always mark these type of questions if you have a basic understanding of the percentage. I hope this helps. A easier question, I would say. 1/7 of the tank contains fuel. Let's say the total quantity of the tank is T. 1/7 contains, so 1/7 of T plus 22 liters. This is equivalent to 1 by 5th of the tank. As it says, the indicator now rests as 1 by 5th mark. Now we can easily solve this as 1 by 5 minus 1 by 7. Obviously these are TT. This is equal to 22. So what do we have? 7T minus 5T upon 7 5s are 35. This is 22. Now let's simplify this further. 2T is equal to 22 into 35. So this is 11. T is equal to 35 into 11 is 35, 35, 385. 385 liters is the total quantity of the tank, which we have assumed as T. 385 is right there in option number B, so we'll mark it, and that is how we can take up these questions. I hope this helps. Simple calculation, not that difficult. The probability of getting sum 3 or 4 when 2 dice are rolled. So first up, we should look at the total outcomes. Or if we talk about probability, that is simply number of favorable outcomes upon the number of total outcomes. So in case of 2 die being rolled, the total outcome is simply, or number of total outcome is simply 6 square, which is 36 outcomes. Out of these 36 outcomes, how many outcomes are there which will give you sum as 3? So it is only possible if we have 1, 2 or 2, 1. How many of them will give you the sum as 4? So it would be 2, 2 or 1, 3 or 3, 1. So in total we have 5 upon 36, that is our answer. A easier way to memorize this, we have got our answer, but a easier way to memorize for 2 dice, let's say the minimum sum would be 2 and the number of outcomes for 2, it is only possible when we have 1 plus 1. So number of outcomes would be 1. For 3, it would be 2. For sum being 4, it is 3. The sum being 12, it is 1. And that is how you can memorize this. Sum being 11, it is 2. Sum being 10, it is 3. Now 5, it is 4. 6, it is 5. 7, it is 6. And from 8 and 9 onwards, it is again 5 and 4. And this is the sequence that you can always memorize. Now, we are looking out for a sum 3 or 4. So sum equal to 3, we get how many outcomes? 2 outcomes. Sum equal to 4, we get 3 outcomes. So number of favorable outcome is 2 plus 3. Number of total outcome is 36. The answer is 5 upon 36. Option A is the correct fit. I hope this helps. A question on probability. Fabled island of knights and knaves, we meet 3 people. Who are these 3 people? These are A, B, and C. One of them is the knight, one of them is a knave, and the other one is a spy. All 3 are different. Now, what is the information given? The knight always tells the truth. Whoever is the knight will always tell the truth. The knave will always lie. The spy can either lie or tell the truth. That is the condition. Now, these type of questions are categorized under the topic binary logic. If you want to prepare such questions, read or try and understand the topic of reasoning, which is binary logic. Now, how do we start with this? Let's see what is the question. Who is the knight? So we start by assuming the first person to be the knight. Then in the second case, we assume B to be the knight. And in the third case, we assume C to be the knight. And that is how we proceed with our question. Look at each case one by one. Let's just forget about these two. Now, A says, since A is the knight here, A says C is the knave. So that is always true. C would be the knave because the knight always tells the truth. C says, I am the spy. C, since he is the knave, this is false. And this is actually, this part is satisfying the condition. B says, the B would be the spy. The spy can either lie or tell the truth. So this is also applying. B says A is the knight. So he can always tell the truth as it is in this case, or he may also lie if he is the spy. So this case is possible, and in this case, who is the knight? A is the knight. Let's see what about the other two, and then we can jump to our conclusion. A says C, who is the knight here? B. B is the knight, so B must be telling the truth. A is the knight. Let's say B is the knight, and the knight always tells truth, and B says A is the knight. So in this case, both A and B becomes the knight, which is not possible. So this scenario is not possible. So we'll rule it out. Let's move on to the last scenario and understand what we have. Who's the knight here? C. C being the knight says, I am the spy. Arey, C is the knight. How can the knight be the spy? This is again self-contradictory. So this is not possible. So these two cases are omitted. We have A being the knight, B is the spy, and C is the knave. That is a definite answer. Who is the knight? A is the correct option. I hope this helps. Meanwhile, you can practice few more questions from our playlist. Keep practicing these questions because these are often repeated. You may always get a similar type of question in your examination. So keep practicing, keep learning. Happy learning to everyone. See you all in the next video.